Chapter 11. Your Moral Character. Far from being superfluous or trivial, noble character and good manners are part and parcel of Islam, and are related to it in all its aspects. Indeed, noble character occupies a lofty position, which is obvious in all its rules and regulations, and the Prophet was chosen as a messenger to perfect high moral standards. Contents. The position of good character in Islam. Perfecting noble character was one of the most important reasons behind the Prophet's mission. Noble character is part and parcel of faith and belief. Noble character permeates all acts of worship without exception. The immense rewards Allah has in store for those who observe good character. Distinguishing features of noble character in Islam. Noble character is not confined to a particular type of people. Noble character is not confined only to human beings. Noble character in all aspects of life. Noble character under all circumstances. Some aspects of the Prophet's life. Humility, mercy, justice, kindness, and generosity. The position of good character in Islam. 1. Perfection of noble character was one of the most important objectives of the Prophet's mission. Allah says, "It is He who raised up among the unlettered Arabs a messenger from them to recite His verses to them and purify them, and teach them the book and wisdom, even though before that they were clearly misguided." Surat Al-Jumu'ah 62:2. This verse reveals one of the favours Allah has bestowed on the believers, stating that He has sent them His messenger, Muhammad, to teach them the Quran and to purify them. Purification can only be attained by purging one's heart from such imperfections as associating others with Allah in worship, having bad moral character like hatred and jealousy, and ridding one's speech and deeds of all forms of evil practices. The Prophet once declared, "I have been sent to perfect noble character." Sunan al-Bayhaqi 21301. This statement makes it clear that one of the reasons behind the Prophet's mission was to elevate and perfect the moral character of the individual and society at large. 2. Noble character is part and parcel of faith and belief. When asked about the best of the believers, the Prophet replied, "They are those who have the best character and manners." Sunan at-Tirmidhi 1162, Sunan Abu Dawud 4682. In fact, the Quran uses the comprehensive Arabic word bir to refer to faith. As the Quran states, righteousness, bir, does not lie in turning your faces during prayer to the east or to the west. Rather, those with true devoutness are the ones who believe in Allah, the Last Day, the angels, the Book, and the Prophets. Surat Al-Baqarah 2177. The word bir is a rather comprehensive term, which includes all forms of righteousness in word and deed. It is for this reason that the Prophet said, "Righteousness, bir, is good character." Sahih Muslim 2553. This becomes clear in the Prophet's declaration. Faith, Iman, has 60-odd branches. The uppermost of all these is the testimony of faith. La ilaha illallah. There is no God worthy of worship except Allah, while the least of them is the removal of a harmful object from the road. Shyness is a branch of faith. Sahih Muslim 35. 3. Noble character permeates all acts of worship. Every time Allah commands the believers to perform an act of worship, He draws their attention to its moral significance or its positive effect on the individual and society. Examples of this are numerous and include the following. The prayer. Establish the prayer, for the prayer restrains from shameful and unjust deeds. Surat Al-Ankabut 29:45. The obligatory charity payment, zakat. Take zakat from their wealth to purify and cleanse them with it. Surat At-Tawbah 9:103. Besides showing kindness and giving comfort to people, zakat refines the benefactor's character and purges it from evil practices. Fasting. O you who believe, Fasting has been prescribed for you, just as it was prescribed for those before you, so that you may remain conscious of Allah. Surat Al-Baqarah 183. This verse makes it abundantly clear that the foremost objective of fasting is to realize consciousness of Allah by obeying His commands and avoiding all words and deeds He has prohibited. As the Prophet said, "Whoever does not abandon false speech and false conduct, then Allah has no need of his abandoning of food and drink." Sahih al-Bukhari, 1804. Therefore, if fasting fails to effect a change in one's character and dealings with others, it will by no means serve its real purpose. 4. The immense rewards Allah has in store for those who observe good character. Textual proofs from the Quran and the Sunnah to this effect are numerous, including the following. Good character will be the heaviest righteous deed to be placed on a person's scale of deeds on the Day of Judgment. The Prophet said, "No deed that will be placed on the scale of deeds on the Day of Judgment will be heavier than good character. Indeed, a person with good character will attain the rank of those with a good record of voluntary fasts and prayers." Sunan at-Tirmidhi, 2003. It is the very deed that will lead people to enter paradise the most. When the Prophet was asked about which act leads people to enter paradise the most, he replied, "Piety and good character." Sunan at-Tirmidhi, 2004, Sunan Ibn Majah, 4246. Of all people, those who have good character will be closest to the Prophet on the Day of Judgment. The Prophet said, "The dearest to me among you and the nearest to me on the Day of Judgment are those who have the best character." Sunan at-Tirmidhi, 2018. The Prophet guarantees a house in the highest part of paradise to those who have good character. "I guarantee a house in the surroundings of paradise for those who give up arguing, even if they are in the right. And I guarantee a house in the middle of paradise for those who abandon lying, even when joking. And I guarantee a house in the highest part of paradise for those who have good character and manners." Sunan Abu Dawud, 4800.